Erokamano ahinya. Abende adwa wacho matin ahinya. To adwa wache kaparo ngima gi tich ma Professor Goto setiyo. And ung'wona nikech nyocha ka wan gi piny Luo e Siaya ka. Noyudo ka Luo wapek. Sani gimoro timre DRC. To e piny ma DRC moloyo kamiluongo ni Ituri. En piny moganda mag Luo nitie. Omiyo gibende gik mwatimo e Kenya ka. Girango kendo ginono ka wuotho kanyakla. Nyocha wan Addis Ababa kacha bende nitie oganda ma Luo ma agoero kamano na Adams Olo emano yudo anywa ma Ethiopia mondo bikae. Kawan ne wan kopondo to mosowa ni Luo achiel tana paro ni mito puonje to wachon kaka no wachone kaka ji wacho Ethiopia. Omiyo, we got not just a local responsibility, we got a regional and international responsibility. So allow me to say the following. It is something that amazes me that I come to weep for the death of this great man. That so many years ago, hardly 2 years ago, we were at Great Lakes University. And the main speech of that occasion was made by Professor Wasau. And the topic of that discussion was so abstract, you needed to understand philosophy and knowledge to get to know what Professor Wasau was talking about. It was a very long lecture. And it was based on the theory and history of knowledge. Very difficult subject to deal with. At the end of that lecture, President Museveni, who was in that congregation, asked that he needed an audio and text copy of the speech of Professor Wasau, talking about the theory and history of knowledge, epistemology, like some of our scholars would talk about. And a few months, Professor Wasau passed away. Now, recently, again, before his death, this great man, and I want to thank Adams Olo, when we were looking for those who are going to give the speeches at Pinlo, that you thought and determined that whether Professor Goto was going to be able to come to Kupondo or not, his speech was still going to be one of the major speeches of Pinlo. And you came and recorded him. And it was played to the entire world. And I remember when I was in Ethiopia, I met one of the people who come from the great kingdom where the Anywa come from. And he had heard the speech that Professor Goto gave. And he spoke about the Luo. Who are we? And a lot of times when I listen to our politicians, and I said recently, if I was Shakespeare alive today, because Shakespeare said you must kill all the lawyers, but I propose kill all the politicians. Because politicians don't listen. They don't listen. They are concerned about the immediacy of the moment. Kakasani, Okero Nikai, Okero Nikai, Okero, we must remember he is one of the few people who are the first lawyers in this country. Kalonzo Musyoka. And Okero was a senior member of cabinet Ndalo Jomo Kenyatta. Me, I was in Parliament when we were a single party. There were so many LUOS in that government of Kenyatta and Moi. But what I'm saying, if you are there without realizing your very essence, who are you? What is it all about? Then we are not going to get anywhere. So I remember what Professor Goat was saying. Another great Luo from Uganda, Olaro Tunu, Mono Achoni, Luo Kitwa, Luo Kitwa, Luo Kitwa. So, what Professor Ogot said during that meeting, and that sector of the meeting was dealing with the intellectuals, our historians, and you heard all of them. It's something which is already on record. When we were burying Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, I quoted Shakespeare, that I come here not to praise Jaramogi, but to bury him. I did not finish that quotation, because Shakespeare said, the evil that men do lives with them, but the good they do is interred with them. I thought that it was the other way around. I had to check it again, that the evil that men do lives with them, but the good that they do is interred with them. Today, the good that this great man, Professor Ogot, did, I hope that it shall not be interred with him. If you look at the history of the Southern Luo, there's a proposition now that the history of the Southern Luo is not just about the history of the Southern Luo. It's the history of antiquity beyond Egypt and beyond Babylon and Mesopotamia. And I can tell you, if you look at commentary that people are making about who ruled Egypt at the time of the pharaohs, and their images, they are not Arabs, they are not white people, they are black people. And if somebody says that the Luos have been part of the history of the cradle of knowledge from Mesopotamia to Egypt to Sudan, I am telling you that that responsibility that you have requires of you as the Luo nation, It requires of you as the Luo nation to be people who can determine the direction where the country is going. And I'm happy about what Raila Odinga has done in this nation. And Raila, we say Raila can never lose. Raila will always win because he's always on the right side of history. He's always in the right hand of history. Katieko. Kadwa tieko. Kadwa tieko. Ano ka luoro wachadieri. O ka luoro wachadieri. Ka gimoro timre e Isiaya. Kado timre Homa Bay. Kikwa vikuro kajama paro ni miwa. Imiwango. We are part of this nation. We are citizens of this nation. We are taxpayers in this nation. So when we speak, I don't want to talk to anybody from weakness. I never talk to anybody from a position of weakness. President Kibaki knew Tokata Ruto benongeo. When I talk to him, I don't speak from weakness, because I know my rights, which are determined by God the Almighty. Don't turn the Luo nation to a nation maparo ne wan wabiro ka by accident. We are not here by accident. We are not here by accident. And we are still looking for the day that a Luo will be a president of the Republic of Kenya. We are looking for that day. Tomano nyalo mana timore. Kawa odwa milongano ODM. Obedo motegno. Kawa odwa obedo motegno. Kawa odwa obedo motegno. Maonge ringo. Anangen kwa timo mano will be the path of honesty and truthfulness. Will be the path of doing the righteous thing. Koro akwayo Elisha in manchanigo na simu, I have not heard it. Ni Professor Wewa. And I was glad that you called me. I was glad you called me. Kik wa donji lwenje mag jomoko. Kwa yiko good. Kwa yiko good. Why yike as a hero? Okno Rengo, Okno Elisha, Okno Waldo. Why yike as our hero? Emomi waduto wanka. Omi an atieko kakwau. I have been here long enough. Karo okero nyalo nyisi. I've been long enough. Okero mineno ni. Part of his problem. Then ngamane wacha dira. Very difficult days. Kane wani serikali chia. So he was in charge of one of the biggest ministries in the land. Power, communications, roads, and public works. That was a Molokero. So Rachne no kohero four. Kohero four. He cannot entertain fools. Gagasani. Nitie jomoko ginyalo bedo ni giria kanya ni jo degree. Inyalo bedo ni reactive four. Inyalo bedo ni reactive four. Inyalo ido ngat ma ja degree. To yamo mtoka malicha inya. To min mare chwer. Koro thou gi min. Thou gi min. Omiana kwau. Akwau. Kaka Uganda maluo. Kaka Uganda maluo. Kaka Uganda maluo. Ungeno kunwele Kenya ka. Gimuyudo is as a matter of right. We are not ngama wacho ni wadhilemo ni ngato. Mani kelo siasa maga Gachagua ma shareholders. Kenya kai okodo siasa ma shareholders. Wangi siasa marweg pin. Wani weg pin. Ogot nen won pin. Jaramogi Odinga nen won pin. So Raila Amolo Odinga and won pin. Joy.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Makofi mazuri kwa gavana wetu. Wonderful.
Tendi sana, mkiona nimefika hapa leo ni sababu kijana yangu Said Bilo amepata bibi leo. Nashukuru hii boma imepea kijana yangu bibi, ndivyo atoke kwa club ya vijana aingie kwa wazee. Na kwa chama ya People's Liberation Party, PLP, hii kijana ni kiongozi. Na ndio unaona mayuthi wenzake wakiwa hapa na nguo za papo, nimewaambia wafuate nyayo zake wawe wazee. tunapendana, na ndivyo unaona vijana wametoka mbali. Mimi nimetoka asubuhi na mapema Nairobi, nikasema harusi ya kijana yangu Mungu anisaidie, lazima nifike. Nimefurahia vile mmenipokea. Nikaita hapa Isiolo, chama iko na MCA mmoja tu na ni Celesio. Sisi tunawapenda, tutarudi tena. Hii si siku ya siasa, ni siku ya kushangilia mtoto amepata. Kijana wangu amekuwa mzee leo. Tunamwombea baraka za Maulana, nyumba yake ipanuke kabisa.